So in modern setting, would you see yourself as an alpha male or a beta male? Because these are the two terms that are trending.
Yeah.
Because I see myself as an alpha female and it's a problem. What do you think? Where are you placed?
I personally think of myself as an alpha male, and it's not just my personal belief, it's also how I play the role in society, right? So, even in a group of friends, I will take a certain onus and agency towards leading the direction of that group, right? It's just the way I play it. It's like there are just the way I see these are roles, right? There are leaders, there are followers, and I'm a strong believer in capability.
So
If
what's an alpha male like for you? Whoa, how would you define one?
I would say primary role or responsibility of an alpha is ensuring survival and sustenance of that group,
Okay.
right? An alpha is not an alpha alone. An alpha, any role or responsibility that I play is only in relation with another, right? Even if it's our relationship, it's a relation in relation with each other. This is a role I play, right? So by myself, there is no need to play any role. It's just me. But if I were to lead a group, if I were to be a part of a group, I will automatically gravitate towards this role simply because it's my innate nature. And I've learned early on that this is my inherent strength. So I play to my strengths. Right? I don't play well as a follower.
So do you think beta male is a follower?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no negative in being a follower. There's no grand positive in being a leader. The net positive is that the group survives.
Correct.
Right? If you look at
Correct.
it, takes a village sort of a frame.
Correct.
It's the community. How do we survive as a partnership? How do we
Correct.
survive
Correct.
as a family? How do we survive as a community?
Correct.
Somebody has to take the responsibility of leading,
Correct.
right? So these are people who are inherently born with certain traits. I happen to be one of them, and I've learned to play to those strengths, to harness those strengths, and to use it to help myself and others.
So talking a little bit more about this beta males and for the lack of more words, I'm just playing with the word here, beta male, like we were talking some time back. So now men don't seem to have a role because the alpha female is doing everything. So they don't have a role in a relationship, sort of not having a purpose. Do you think is that leading something to the lost generation, the lost man? Because the new man, which is, I mean, we hear a lot about these young men being depressed. Young men don't want, there are a lot of men who don't want to have date anymore. They don't want to have a relationship. They don't want to have sex. It's completely lost. They don't seem to fit in anymore. So how do we talk about this beta male who are just not part of any of the groups or society anymore?
So I don't even think these are beta males. The people you're referring to are not even playing the game, right? So
Okay,
when
interesting.
we say alpha and beta, we're just talking about different types of players. If you're playing football, not everyone's going to be a striker. Some people are going to be defending, some people are going to be attacking, right? So there's like an attacker, there's a defender. So if you look at this way, the alpha is the attacker, the beta is the defender. So even in a community, the alpha is leading, is more aggressive role, the betas are more supportive roles. Not everyone can be a leader, and not everyone can be a follower, right? And it takes both to ensure the
Correct.
survival of the group. What you're referring to are people who are refusing to play the game at all. So they want to, we can't even call them beta males because they're just refusing to even play along and be a good follower. So they're just saying, I don't want to play this game, right?
They're leaving the game.
They're leaving the game. They're standing on the stands. They're just sitting on the stands and they're just watching the game. Some are not even watching the game.
Correct.
Some are watching the game.
Correct.
Some might be encouraged to come in and start playing. But why aren't they playing? That's a good
Correct.
question, right? That's
Correct.
your question, in fact.
Correct.
Why are
Correct.
these people not playing?
Correct.
And I think if you look at it, what do men want? What do men need? This is a nice way to play this
Correct.
question.
Correct. Correct.
In a very blunt form, I would say men want respect, right? They need to be respected.
That's not blunt.
I mean, it's very, yeah, I mean, it's a single word. So I'm just
Yeah.
putting it very simply, as in men want respect. What do men need? I would say purpose.
So men want respect, but men need not the
Purpose,
purpose. Okay.
right? So when I say respect, why would you respect a man? For
Why would I respect a man?
what?
It's a good question. Even I'm thinking, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, traditionally, you know, there are certain skills that you respect a person for. Forget male, female for a second.
Correct, correct.
You would respect someone simply because they have certain skills,
Yeah,
right? So even if I were to say, wow, I love your hair,
yeah. I love
right?
your hair too. Yeah,
That's now, why are we respecting each other? I mean, isn't this natural? It's not
it's a trait.
not
Yeah,
something I did. It just grew on its own. It's not like
correct,
I
correct,
sat and put manure.
correct, correct,
But then I maintained it a certain way, or I've
correct, correct,
not let it be cut.
correct,
Right? So
correct,
there's something I'm doing,
correct.
and how am I managing it? How am I doing it? Then you appreciate, oh, I love how you have kept your hair. Right? So same way, I would say I love how you're running your startup. I'm appreciating your management skills. So there is a certain level of respect that men want from other men in society, from women in their lives. If they don't have skills, if they're not playing the game, then why would you respect them? What would you respect them for? So again, we have come to the point where they don't have anything to be respected for, so they're not getting that respect. So it's like a catch 22. I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything, so I'm not going to get respected. Because I'm not respected, I'm not going to do anything.
You know, there's a not debate, but there's this huge conversation around that how most of the feminists, most of the high functioning women end up with losers. There's a big joke around. And if you look at it, there's also this whole idea that I can fix my man. I would like to, figure it out. And a lot of lost or a lot of people who are refusing to play the game end up with people who are highly functional,
Yeah.
who are fixing the system.
Yeah.
It's fascinating what is
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
But there's also there's a deeper question why you're saying these men who have stopped playing the game, who don't want to play the game, but there are men who are still playing the game. Nobody seems to respect them. So I feel some kind of a chaos, some kind of violence that nobody seems to notice, because there are hardworking men, good men who are trying really hard, and they don't seem to get any kind of appreciation. They're called the simps, the new word, the simp. If you're nice to your woman, you're always trying to crave the attention of your woman, you are the simp. And if you're a you're a poet, if you have left your society, if you're writing, there's a whole personality everybody wants. You're craving the attention of that person. They're trying to bring him back to the society. I find it very chaotic.